Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhaktasevaya. Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 10, Deliverance of the Yamalarjam Trees. Text number 39 onwards. So yesterday we studied how Mani, Kriv and Nalkuvar came out of those trees that were yanked out of ground by Krishna. They prayed to Krishna, they glorified Krishna, they circumambulated him, and they went back. So now Shukdev Goswami is saying, Shri Shukuvacha itam sankirtitastabhyam Bhagwan Gokuleshwara Damna cho likhale baddha prasan aha guyako. Shukdev Goswami continued. The two young demigods thus offered prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the master of all and was certainly Gokuleshwara, the master of Gokul, he was bound to the wooden mortar by the ropes of the gopis, and therefore smiling widely, he spoke to the sons of Kuvera the following words. Okay, the sons were still there. They were ready to go back. And it's funny, Krishna is still bound up, but he liberated these two demigods. Krishna was smiling because he was thinking to himself, these two young demigods fell from the higher planetary system to this planet, and I have delivered them from the bondage of standing for a long time as trees. But as for me, I am bound by the ropes of the gopis, and am subject to their chastisements. In other words, Krishna submits to being chastised and bound by the gopis because of pure love and affection, worthy of being praised by a devotee in so many ways. So only Yashoda, Maya, and gopis can do that. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Gyatam Mam Purevetat Rishina Karunatmana Yachri Madandhiyor Vagbhir Vibhransho Anugriha Krita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the great Saint Narad Muni is very merciful. By his curse, he showed the greatest favor to both of you, who were mad after material opulence and who had thus become blind. Although you fell from the higher planet, Swargaloka, and became trees, you were most favored by him. I knew of all these incidents from the very beginning. It's now confirmed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead that the curse of a devotee is also to be regarded as mercy. As Krishna, God is all good. Vaishnava is also all good. Whatever he does is good for everyone. This is explained in the following verse. Of course, Krishna says by his curse, but it wasn't a curse, it was actually a benediction. Sadhunam samchittanam sutaram atkritatmanam darshanano bhavedvandha punso akshano savitur yatha. When one is face to face with the sun, there is no longer darkness for one's eyes. Similarly, when one is face to face with a sadhu or devotee who is fully determined and surrendered to the Supreme Personality of God, one will no longer be subject to material bondage. So means all his ignorance will be gone. As stated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, sadhu sanga sarva shastra. If by chance one meets a sadhu or devotee, one's life is immediately successful and one is freed from all material bondage. It may be argued that whereas someone may receive a sadhu with great respect, someone also may not receive a sadhu with such respect. A sadhu, however, is always equipoised toward everyone. Because of being a pure devotee, a sadhu is always ready to deliver Krishna consciousness without discrimination. As soon as one sees a sadhu, one naturally becomes free. Nonetheless, persons who are too much offensive, who commit Vaishnava aparadhas or offenses to a sadhu, will have to take some time before being rectified. This is also indicated here. So no matter what do we do, whether we receive a sadhu properly with respect or not, we will always get benefit. Yes, some people will get the benefit sooner, some will get the benefit later. Like there's so many people met Srila Prabhupada. Not everybody took initiation from him. Not everybody took up the process of devotion service seriously. But when they have met him, sooner or later, they will, one lifetime or another lifetime, they will come to the process. So that's for sure. Being such a great sadhu, if somebody even sees him, serves him, just say Hare Krishna or good morning to him, he definitely makes progress. Tadgachatam matparmau nalkuvar sadhanam sanjato mai bhavavam ipsita parmo bhava. O Nalkuvar and Manigrave, now you may both return home, since you desire to be always absorbed in my devotional service. Your desire to develop love and affection for me will be fulfilled, and now you will never fall from that platform. See, Krishna is giving them guarantee. You will never fall from that platform of devotion service. The highest perfection of life is to come to the platform of devotional service and always engage in devotional activities. Understanding this, Nalkuvar and Manigrave desire to attain that platform, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead bless them with the fulfillment of their transcendental desire. And another thing to notice here, Krishna is still bound up. He is still having the same 3-year-old boy, 3 or 4, whatever his age was. He did not increase his size. But here, Shukdev Goswami is referring to him as Shri Bhagwan Uvacha, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. So even if he is a little boy, he is still the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is for people who don't have faith in Krishna to understand. He might play like little boy, and he enjoys those pastimes so much that he forgets his Supreme Personality of Godhead. He lets Yoga Maya, his own energy, take over himself. But when there is time, so like here, when he's giving instructions to Nalkuvar and Manigrave, he is still the little boy. And these two demigods, they understood his position. They are not approaching him. Oh, you're a little baby. You're such a cute little baby. Let's play with you. No. They know that he's the Supreme Lord. Only Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, look at him. He is carrying both Krishna and Balram on his lap. He is treating them as little boys. Not Nalkuvar and Manigrava. No way. So it depends how a devotee or how a person approaches the Lord. He reciprocates accordingly. But he loves to reciprocate with his loving devotees much more than he likes all these prayers by his devotees. So this is the difference between devotion service out of love and devotion service out of awe and reverence or respect. The love really binds Krishna, controls Krishna. So this is what he's looking for, not for the prayers. Shri Shukuvacha, iti yukto to parikramya pranamya cha punah punah baddha loklam amantrya jagmuttur disham uttaraham. Shukdev Goswami said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, having spoken to the two demigods in this way, they circumambulated the Lord, who was bound to the wooden mortar, and offered obeisances to him. After taking the permission of Krishna, they returned to their respective homes. So thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 10th canto, 10th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Deliverance of the Yamalarjun Trees. So we still have time. We can start the 11th chapter, the childhood pastimes of Krishna. Actually, this pastime still continues. I wanted to cover that part. Shri Shukuvacha, Gopananda Deha Shrutva Drumayo Patto Ramam Tatra Jagmu Kuru Shrestha Nirghata Bhaya Shankitaha. Shukdev Goswami continued, O Maharaj Parikshit, when the Yamal Arjun trees fell, all the cowherd men in the neighborhood, hearing the fierce sound and fearing thunderbolts, went to the spot. Bhumyam nipatito tatra dadrushur Yamalarjuno babhram pustad vigyaya lakshyam patanakaranam. There they saw the fallen Yamalarjun trees on the ground, but they were bewildered because even though they could directly perceive that the trees had fallen, they could not trace out the cause for having done so. So they could not figure out why these big, gigantic Yamalarjun trees standing here for hundreds of years, they just all of a sudden they fell down. There was no hurricane, there was no thunder, lightning, anything. Considering all the circumstances, had this been done by Krishna, he was standing on the spot and his playmates described that this has been done by him. Had Krishna actually done this, or were these merely stories? This was a cause of bewilderment. And Krishna's friends were telling, yeah, Krishna is the one who did it. But how can anybody believe this? Ulukhalam vikarshantam damna baddham cha balakam kasedam kut ashcharyam utapat iti katara. Krishna was bound by the rope to the Ulukhal, the mortar, which he was dragging. But how he could have pulled down the trees? Who had actually done it? Where was the source of this incident? Considering all these astounding things, the cowherd men were doubtful and bewildered. Cowherd men were very much agitated because child Krishna, after all, had been standing between the two trees. And if by chance the trees had fallen upon him, he would have been smashed. But he was standing as he was, and still the things had happened. So who had done all this? How could these events have happened in such a wonderful way? These considerations were some of the reasons they were agitated and bewildered. They thought, however, that by chance Krishna had been saved by God so that nothing had happened to him. But obviously, this must be going through their mind. Krishna was saved. So this was the best thing. Bala uchur neneti tiryak gattam ulukhalam vikarshata madhyagena purushashvapi achakshmahi. Then all the cowherd boys said, it is Krishna who has done this. When he was in between the two trees, the mortar fell crosswise. Krishna dragged the mortar and the two trees fell down. After that, two beautiful men came out of the trees. We have seen this with our own eyes. And the cowherd boys are telling the truth. Who would believe them? Krishna's playmates wanted to inform Krishna's father of the exact situation by explaining that not only did the trees break, but out of the broken trees came two beautiful men. All these things happened, they said. We have seen them with our own eyes. Nate taduktam jagruhur na ghate theti tasya tat balasyot patanam tarvo kechit sandigdha chetasaha. Because of intense paternal affection, the cowherd men headed by Nanda could not believe that Krishna could have uprooted the trees in such a wonderful way. Therefore, they could not put their faith in the words of the boys. Some of the men, however, were in doubt. Since Krishna was predicted to equal Narayan, they thought it might be that he could have done it. One view was that it was impossible for a small boy like this to have done such a thing as pulling down the trees. But there were doubts because Krishna had been predicted to equal Narayan. Therefore, the cowherd men were in a dilemma. Ulukhalam vikarshantam damna baddham somatmajam vilokyananda prahasad vadano vimumochaha. When Nand Maharaj saw his own son bound with ropes to the wooden mortar and dragging it, he smiled and released Krishna from his bonds. Nand Maharaj was surprised that Yashoda, Krishna's mother, could have bound her beloved child in such a way. Krishna was exchanging love with her. How then could she have been so cruel as to bind him to the wooden mortar? Nanda Maharaj understood this exchange of love and therefore he smiled and released Krishna. In other words, as Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, binds a living entity in fruitive activities, He binds Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj in parental affection. This is his pastime. So here it ends, the Damodar pastime. But in another literature, some more details are given. So children spoke of, Father, we saw everything. We clearly saw your son go between the trees. He saw that open space over there, wanted to play there. As he moved away from the trees, the grinding mortar became caught in between. From an angle, he tugged at the grinding mortar. Immediately, the trees made a loud cracking sound and came crashing to the ground. But obviously, nobody believed them. So now, when the trees came crashing down, they made a tumultuous sound. And Yashoda Maya was inside, and Nanda Baba, all the Gopals were outside. Now, Yashoda Maya, she had seen Taranavat taking Krishna away, or Putna and Shaktasur, and she just fell unconscious. What happened to my son? So Nanda Baba came, and as we studied, that he untied Krishna. And untied Krishna, and then he was patting Krishna, just pampering him. Oh, what happened? And now Krishna being Krishna, he said, oh, Yashoda Maya bound me up. She's very cruel. I'm not going to go to her. So then Baba said, okay, so today you just stay with me. And Nand Baba was also angry with Yashoda that, why did you bind up little boy like this? He could have died. Something could have happened to her. And Yashoda Maya, now she was in a fix. Nanda Baba is angry with me. Lala is angry with me. Now what to do? So Mother Rohini came, and she gave them some food to eat. Krishna was still angry, and he said, I'm not gonna go to Mother Rohini either. And Baba said, why not Rohini? What did she do? Oh no, she wasn't there when Yashoda was binding me up. Where was she? Rohini said, Krishna, I wasn't home. I had taken Balram to some other place. No. You all are together. I'm not gonna go. So Nanda Baba took Krishna and Balram. They went to the cow shed, and there they had their lunch. They ate, and they slept. The boys slept. So now when they got up, so Krishna, now you go to your mother? No, I'm not gonna go. I will stay with you only. Now Krishna said, see, Krishna, if you stay with me, whose milk you're gonna drink? Oh, these cows are there. I'll drink their milk. I'll just add some mishri to the milk, and I'll drink that milk. With whom you will play? Now the gopis were there also. They were trying that, because Yashoda Maya was not feeling well, that Krishna is not talking to me. Who will you play with? I'll play with my father and my Baba, my Dauji, Balram. And then somebody asked, why don't you go to Rohini? No, she wasn't there to help me when I needed her. I'm not going to go to her. Why should I go to her? Then Rohini said, see, my dear son, why are you so harsh? Your mother in so much anguish. And Krishna was pretending not to hear her words, and moist eyes simply gazed at the face of his father. No, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'll stay with them. Even Balramji tried to take him to Yashoda, but he just wouldn't go. Then Nanda Baba knew what to do. He said, okay, so Yashoda really bothered you? She really punished you? And Krishna, yes, Baba, she really punished me. So Yashoda Maya also was there, and Nanda Baba said, so should I beat her up because she punished you? And Nanda Baba just raised his hand, and Krishna just grabbed his hand. No, don't beat Maya. And then he went and jumped in Maya's lap. And this is how the whole pastime ended. See, these beautiful pastimes, of Krishna, who can enjoy these pastimes except Nanda Baba and Yashoda Mai and all the gopis and all the gopas, fatherly gopas and gopis in Braj, especially in Gokul. All these pastimes are happening in Gokul. So they enjoy it like anything, these pastimes. And also another thing to notice is, again and again it came, that Krishna was tied up and he still liberated Nalkuvar and Manigrave. But when he did that, and then the trees fell down, and Nand Baba came and untied him. So same thing goes for us. We know we are bound up, we are conditioned souls, all the problems, all the four defects with us, every sort of Maya tendency or illusory tendencies or illusory attacks are there on us, maybe more than regular people. We go through so much as aspiring devotees. So we are completely bound up, definitely. No doubt about it. None of us can say I am completely pure and I'm liberated. No one is. But even if, when we are bound up, we try to serve Prabhupada by spreading his message or spreading this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna to other bound up people, other conditioned souls. Then just like Nanda Baba came to free Krishna, either Prabhupada will come or Krishna will send somebody to free us up also. All we have to do is try to help others grow on this path. Somehow take up this path and make progress on this path wholeheartedly, without any ulterior motives, without anything else in mind, except to serve Prabhupada this way. It's for sure Prabhupada will come or Krishna will send somebody. That's up to him to decide. To free us up. No matter we are bound up, doesn't matter. So we have to, this determination we have to have that yes, whichever way, it doesn't matter if we are big scholars or not, if we know Sanskrit or not, if we remember the scriptures or not, if we have studied all the scriptures, understood all them, doesn't matter. We just help others, that's all, whichever way possible. In coming to devotion service, then definitely, somebody will come and help us also. So from this pastime, this is what we have to learn. And in fact, these two brothers, Nalkuvar and Manigrave, when they went back to heavenly planets, now they could not do anything except thinking of Krishna and glorifying Krishna, singing of Krishna's pastimes, because they became devotees. And as Krishna also blessed them, now you will not fall down, you will not forget me at any time. So they became two great singers. Their names were now Snigdhakantha and Madhukantha. And they were always glorifying Krishna. Snigdhakantha and Madhukantha. And they also came in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, Gaur Leela also. I'm forgetting the name, the Mukundat and his brother. I have to find out the exact names. And in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes also, they were great kirtan singers. And they're always chanting the holy names and glorifying Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. This is all the life was all about. So see how they started. They were enjoying with damsels of heaven, naked, and Narad Muni got upset with them, got angry with them. And this is a mercy of Narad Muni, his curse. Although they went through their sentence, their punishment, 100 celestial years standing as trees, but in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, or where Nanda Maharaj later would come as. Of course, that courtyard is eternal courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, but the house wasn't built 100 celestial years ago. And then they witnessed the pastimes of Devi Krishna in that courtyard, because as trees, but they had the consciousness of demigods. They could see everything, they could witness, they could hear everything. And later, they were released by Krishna. So, little mercy of a devotee, little mercy of Narad, and obviously going through the punishment phase, and such a great benefit that they became the singers, wonderful singers of Krishna's pastimes in heaven, and then came in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes also. So can't imagine the mercy a pure devotee can bestow on any conditioned soul. So all we have to do with folded hands, we have to beg for the mercy of Prabhupada to give us also. He has given us plenty of mercy. He has given us books, his books, his lectures. So we can read over and over and just try to do our duties. And then one day or the other, some more mercy will definitely come. Definitely. That's for sure it's going to happen. So just have to have full faith in Prabhupada. So I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments? Okay, so you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.